Hello everyone, this is Joe Workman, and today I would like to introduce you to Tabulous 2. Tabulous has been completely rewritten with over 75 amazing updates. It's still easy as ever to implement, and it is absolutely brilliant on mobile devices. As you see, Tabulous provides a great tabbed slider interface that allows your users to easily navigate through tabbed content areas. Now let's jump in and see some of the amazing new features of Tabulous 2. Now I should note that Tabulous has a lot of settings, and I'm only going to touch base on just a few of them in this video, and make sure you look out for a more advanced in-depth tutorial coming soon. The top level settings, we have Tabulous Slide Container. This actually affects the actual slide container that contains each slide that you'd like. The first setting obviously contains the slide count, that is the number of slides and tabbed content that you'd like to have. Next down we have the container. We actually allow Tabulous to be either the normal tabbed container or a generic slider, which actually removes the tabs. You can then obviously change the background color to be solid, a tiled image, or transparent. You can change the content padding. You could add rounded corners. You can also add a drop shadow. Now the next settings control group is the slide transitions. This allows you to configure the slide effects as well as the speed of those effects between each slide transition. You could turn on auto slide, which allows you to have an automatic slideshow, or else the users need to manually click through the tabs to see the content. We also support dynamic height, which allows the Tabulous stack to actually adjust height based on the size of the contents within each tab. The next setting group is the Tabulous tab setting, which, as you may think, actually controls the style and some other attributes of the actual tabs. Now this first checkbox will allow you to actually, every time a user clicks on a tab or a tab is shown, it will actually save that tab in the browser history, so that users can actually go back and forth in their browser history and navigate between slides. You can then adjust the position. Do you want the tabs to be on the top as default, or do you want them to be on the bottom of the stack? Do you want your tab alignment to be centered, left, or right? And an amazing new feature is the gutter. This allows you to actually separate the tab contents from the container, which gives you a nice navigation menu type feel instead of a tab feel for your stack. You can then adjust the padding for it, as well as add rounded corners to each tab element. And you can also inherit the same shadow that we generated for the slide container. You can then obviously change text size, as well as all the various colors for each tab. Now the next settings group allows you to customize the actual navigation arrows that are shown on the Tabulous slider. We can actually show or completely hide our arrows. We can just show the arrows on hover. We can actually hide the last and first arrows based on the tab that is being shown. So if we are at the last tab, the next arrow will not be displayed. And if we are on the first tab, the previous arrow will not be displayed. We can configure the size of our arrows, as well as the vertical positioning within the left and right sides that we'd like to have our arrows. And then last but not least, we can actually configure our custom arrow images rather than the default ones that ship with Tabulous. Now, if you'd like to have some amazing arrow images, check out our compass stack. It ships with 300 beautiful arrows that you can use directly within Tabulous as well. Now in our last settings group is really what sets Tabulous apart from all other tabbed containers. And this is where we configure how Tabulous responds to your mobile device. Now if we were to look at Tabulous in a mobile-sized browser, we would notice one thing. There are actually no tabs here. Tabulous has morphed itself into a beautifully usable mobile navigation, which allows users to click on the menu and dynamically navigate to the actual tab that they would like. Now, if you also noticed, our two columns actually shrank down to a single column because we are using the responsive layout stacks. Now that we've seen how Tabulous responds in a mobile device, you'll see that we can actually configure many of these things, attributes of it. We could turn on and off the mobile navigation, change the navigation title, as well as define our own menu image that floats on the right side of the menu. Now, Tabulous does include extra menu images within the Stacks Media library for you to use. And that is Tabulous, everybody. I hope you really enjoy this amazing stack. It really is revolutionary in how it actually manages tab containers on your mobile device. Now go forth and make your websites great.